let's hop in with episode 1, The Phantom Menace. It's been a while since I've watched this one now. Like, that was probably November or something.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head, I would give this a B. What are you thinking?
See, I had it at an A.
Okay.
Yeah, I really
Sell me on it.
and I think we talked about this when you and I watched it. I really like the Phantom Menace. I think it's a great start to that prequel trilogy. I think some of the characters we get. I love Qui-Gon Jinn, Duel of the Fates. The reason it's not the best is some of that dialogue gets me every time. It's just bad. But I think you and I disagree on the pod race, though. I love the pod race.
Okay.
I know that's like one of those boring moments in Star Wars for you.
It's rough.
But there's not much in that movie that I don't like just sitting and watching. So I had it at an A, but it's the dialogue, man. The dialogue gets me. It's bad in some places.
I'll give it an A. I can look past that. Plus, having finished the Plagueis novel within the past month or so, I'm okay with it being an A. It adds a little bit to it. I think that duel at the end, Duel of the Fates, I think that's like the number 2 Star Wars duel, if I had to guess. And for me, it's my number 2. For some people, it's their number 1. So I think that alone gets it pretty high up there.
I think it is number 1 for me. I mean, obviously, it's right there with Obi-Wan and Anakin, but I don't know. Something about just still remembering that thing on the big screen. I love that. I love that battle. So
see, I didn't see it on the big screen, but I did see episode 3 on the big screen. So that was
life-changing.
Maybe where we differ. So yeah, we're going to say episode 1 is great, but not the best Star Wars we've ever seen. How about Attack of the Clones? You go first on Attack of the Clones.
We might differ on this one. I got it down at a B. It's not. I like the story in Attack of the Clones, but in terms of just sitting down and enjoying this movie, some of those moments with Padme and Anakin are so painful.
Yeah.
It just, anytime, like that middle part of the movie where it's not Obi-Wan and Kamino, I'm just like, oh gosh, can we move on, please? So I like Attack of the Clones. The story's great. No issues with the story. But man, it's hard for me to sit through Anakin Padme. I don't even know if I call it romance. It's more like stalking, and I don't know. It's creepy. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, so I'm between a C and a B on episode 2 for a couple reasons. One, Obi-Wan's entire arc in this movie is incredible. It is so good. Like, it is the whole like mystery spy type thing. You get so much lore, like the clones, how they came to be. You get Dooku telling him that a Sith Lord is running everything, pulling all the strings. And so I do like that. And he goes to a Waffle House at some point. So that's also pretty cool.
Yeah. Good old Dex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what sells the movie for me. It's that whole segment with Kamino and the clones and Jango Fett and Obi-Wan. Like, I love all of that part of the movie. And it has a cool ending too, when the clones show up and we have the start of the Clone Wars. I love all that.
Yeah, I was going to say, once you get to the Battle of Geonosis, it's really good too. So let's give this one a B. Let's do that.
I'm talking you up on all of these so far.
Well, I mean, if I can throw out the cringy stuff, then the rest of it's not too bad. Now, for episode 3, I'm going to say that's S tier. I think that's a pretty easy choice for me, in being some of the top Star Wars that we have. What do you think?
Oh, I agree 100%. I think it fixes some of that bad dialogue, but man, we talked about it a few weeks back, just how great Anakin's fall is, just the little things that continuously pull him away and push him away from the Jedi. It's a really well-paced movie. When there's not something exciting going on, there's something really interesting going on, and so it's got to be up there at the top. Everything about it I love. I don't ever sit down and just like zone out in any part of that movie.
No, I agree 100%. Like, there's no room for there to be anything inconsequential to happen in
Mm-mm.
episode 3 because it has to wrap everything up and shoot us into the originals, which it does
Yeah.
so well. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
like and it has that same Empire feel like we talked about, to where nothing good happens as far as the good guys go, but at the
Yeah.
end, knowing what's coming, you know there is that hope. Also, if you look at this, it probably is like the correct ranking for what most people would rank the prequel trilogy, anyways, with Revenge of the Sith being the best, then The Phantom Menace, then Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. I think
So I think,
everybody's
yeah,
got Sith at the top. I think the other two get switched around a little bit, but I think most people have that one at the top for sure.
the only reason I would consider two above one or on the same
Hmm.
level with one even would only be the fact that I saw it in theaters. Like, it was my first Star Wars movie in
Yeah.
theaters, so like the nostalgia aspect. But that would probably be the only thing that got it up there for me.
Yeah,
So,
that'll be different for everybody, right? Like where
oh
we
yeah,
all saw things and how we saw them and how we were introduced to things, like those always, as much as you try to be objective, like you can't remove those parts of your experience. So
as far as like single viewing experience as well, um, I never just throw on Attack of the Clones. So
that's a good point.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.